The War of the Seraphim has begun. The flaming serpents, one of the reasons why I have flaming serpents hanging from my ears now. And the reason for that is because the war has begun. What are the flaming serpents? The Seraphim, the high angels, according to the Christian or monist dialect. They're the flaming dragons, the elder watchers, as I call them. Now, the younger watchers are the fallen angels, if you want to use Christian dialect, right? They're the ones that mated with the daughters of men and created the elite bloodlines that you see behind the scenes, ruling the dirt ball that is this globe. This is why the elites are obsessed with bloodlines. Okay? Not all of them were eliminated. That's the reason. That's the official doctrine, that they were eliminated by the flood. That's not true. Some of them did survive. Therefore, the elites ruled the world. Those children of the Watchers. So why has this war begun? Well, because several thousand years ago, let's just say that, let's look at the cosmic year again. 12,000 years ago was the height of the last golden age and the last golden global civilization. And they would use pyramids as energy focal points and so forth and so on. They had their own type of technology, and you could see that all across the globe, including in the Canaries, where my maternal line is from. The nobles of my family, when the Spanish conquered the Canaries, said that they descended from Atlantis. So there's that, right? Take it as you will. It just doesn't suit the current narrative, that's all. Okay? But 12,000 years ago was the last golden age, and everything goes through cycles. This narrow, linear kind of version of reality is not, is a dark age invention. So as we started descending, say like several thousand years ago, you had the Holocene and so forth and so on. The ice ages came to an end. Waters rose and flooded many civilizations. That's proven. That's a proven fact. There are many civilizations underwater right now. And several thousand years ago was when the portal was shut. See, because if you look at the pyramid back in the day, and new evidence is coming out, the pyramids are far older than what they claim. And there's this structure that links the pyramid to the earth, the telluric currents, the ley lines, or whatever you want to call them. Those currents were funneled, and there was this external coating of limestone to insulate the pyramid, and at the top you had a golden tip, and this would create an aura that would change according to the year, and piezoelectric phenomena. And they would use these pyramids as kind of like a resurrection machine. No corpses were ever found in the pyramid. There's a reason for that. It wasn't a tomb. That's the narrative that they were using, because they didn't know what else to think of it, right? Why else would they build a thing like this? No, it was technology. And there was these shafts that went to certain constellations, and so they would put the deceased in the chamber, and they would send the spirit to one of these portals in these constellations, because the ancients knew where the elites, where humans came from. They came from the Watchers. This was shut down several thousand years ago in order for the current elites, the old elites, put it that way, to have complete control over this dirt ball. And so the portals were shut down. That's all changed now. Everything's changed. This is the ekpyrosis, and we start to shift towards the golden age, what the old elites call the Great Reset. And they know this is going on. And they got their hands in the honeypot, and they're not going to give it up, just like that. So the elders are back. The portal's been open. The elders are back. And there's going to be a war between the elders and the youngers. Now, as I've said before, the youngers feed off of the daughters of men, so to speak. This is where you get the pedophilic cults and all that nonsense. This is where it comes from. They feed off of the loosh that this is produced, either by sex or pain or death. That's the loosh, right? This is what they've been feeding off of. This is how the elites have ruled for the last several thousand years. So the war has begun to change things around. The adults are back in the room, so to speak. The frat party is over. Okay, have you noticed that? The frat party is over? That's right. And it's only going to get worse. And this war is going to go on for centuries. For the hearts and minds of men, so that the species may continue, because otherwise what was going to happen was that the younger Watchers were going to end up killing the hosts. They just become parasites and not allow the species to evolve. So the elders are back. The flaming dragons are back. And they're here to make war with the fallen angels, if you want to use Christian parlance. As I've said before, these Watchers are a Type 7 civilization, multidimensional, that go through wormholes, black holes, whatever you want to call them, and sustain this holographic interface with the black hole. There's evidence to suggest, right, that we're in a black hole. It's not that this cosmos is in a black hole, it's powered. Black hole is the battery that sustains this hologram. So these are cycles that we go through, and it's just another cycle. As the Chinese curse goes, may you live in interesting times. Good luck.